And welcome back. I'm Kalen, and today we're going into issue number 3 of Hounds. Currently the last one that's out. So I'm going to start thinking about what I want to do after I'm done with this. Got a couple ideas. We'll see. Anyway, issue 3 of Models, Monsters, and Mortality. Last night. And we only had 20 ticks of the clock to haul our booty and our booties out of there before we get caught, tried, and jailed. We were fearing for our lives. So what happened in the end? Well, I still be here, be I not? Though Polly never did find his britches, and not exactly the luckiest lad in the world. He seems very eccentric. That the feathered fiend may be, but it's hard to be in the right place. For a criminal, you mean? For a criminal. That blasted Camo, on the other hand. How'd you guys even meet him? You didn't really seem like the pirate type. Scallywag swam into our lair one day with a plan to steal the money talks gown. How he found the place, I can't even begin to know. Almost throttled the lad before I saw the heist plan with me own eyes. We'd take the gown and split the earnings, savvy. 'Twas unsinkable. But it didn't turn out that way in the end. For either of us. He brought a spring upon our cable, and no mistake. When you get your hands on him, give him a good paddling for me. I'll happily lend you an oar to do the deed with. We need to figure out where he went first. When I asked him if he'd ever taken anything that don't belong to him, he said he specialized in fashion of all things. Rare exotic silks and leathers and the like. Not even always things that be worth a lot of coin. Strange, ain't it? Says the guy who dresses like a freaking pirate for work. Have you looked in the mirror lately, laddie? We may have some colorful uniforms, but at least most of ours ain't form-fitting. Which ain't all bad, of course. Got quite a good look of that booty of yours. Right back at you. You must do some serious squats. This tail ain't just for swimming and sailing, that much be certain. I could show you if you fancy. Hey now, business first. Fair play to you. I do suppose there be one more thing. While we were doing our syndicate orientation, Camo gabbed about some of his plans for after. Said he had some big things lined up for the coming days. And something about making them all pay. Speaking from experience, would you have any ideas to what his next course of action would be? Experience? What do you take me for? What do you take me for? A rotten thief? Well, you did kind of steal one of the most valuable pieces the gallery had to offer. 'Twas a jest, lad. Were it up to me, I would be doing some, what be it called again? Reconnaissance? Reconnaissance. Reconnaissance. Aye, that. Find out what his next target would be and get there before he does. And give him what he deserves. Yeah, thanks, Captain. Turns out there's more to you than just good looks and a criminal record after all. You got quite the mouth on you, eh? I could put it on you instead, if you'd prefer that. Back in my place. I'll go pick up the tab, laddie. Wait for me. God, I forgot. Just get a nice view of his fucking chest. Drifting. I'm drifting on an endless blue expanse, far above the ground. My view bobs up and down, slowly, evenly. Thoughts come and go, never staying too long. I'm lost somewhere between dream and reality. My senses dulled save for a pleasant soreness. Exhausted but content, I stretch my aching limbs and yawn. At some point I open my eyes, but the blue expanse beneath me remains. Well, well, look who's waking up. I rub my eyes. The humongous whale just smiles at me. At least, I think he does. Can't quite tell from this angle. His head's really big. Good morning to you, lad. And a good night's rest. With what little of it we spent sleeping? Yeah, I guess. Yes, I suppose I did keep you up longer than I intended. It's okay. You make a pretty good bed. I snuggle into him. He flexes the pack I'm using as a makeshift pillow so hard it makes my head bounce. Hey, cut it out. I'm still a little sore. Just a little, eh? Might I have gone too easy on you after all then, lad? You call that going easy, Captain? I got a full body workout. Meant to get you back for that stunt you pulled with that fancy grappling hook of yours, but if you're still gapping up a storm... Why, well, enough to bring me own weapons of choice next we meet. See what really makes you squeak like a ship's wheel. I do like the sound of that. Didn't hear you, lad. What did you just say? I mean, I like the sound of that, Captain. That's more like it. Knew you would, laddie, knew you would. What kind of weapons we talking about? Oh, a couple of ropes, maybe a little something to shut that mouth of yours. Hell yes. Really? You should see the look on your face right now. Priceless. I should stay on my toes next time we fight if this man's got me figured out this well already. Jerk. He laughs. You know, I got a few things of my own we can... Just then the door slams open. I jolt up from the large whale man's chest, snatching the closest thing I can find, a small towel to cover our naked bodies with. Hey, Roomie. Hey, Roomie's friend. Max, you gotta start knocking, Jesus. Whoa, my bad. I'll come back later. He closes the door, but I hear his voice on the other side. Breakfast's on the table, dude, and I got something for you. Kind of in the middle of something here. Are we now? He squeezes my butt and I barely manage to contain a yelp. Oh, it's just my mom's gift. Got these tickets for this thing tonight. I thought maybe you and Lou might like to go. Noted. Oh, also, some guy named Milo called, was asking where you were. I tense up. What did you tell him? Oh, I just told him you were hanging out with a friend of your friend and that you'd be over right away. He said he'd get you over there when you're ready. I hear him walk away. The sigh of relief that comes out of me is audible. I'm glad I'm not getting fired for being late twice in a single week. What time is it even? About 9, lad. I suppose it'd be about time to put on our breeches and bid our goodbyes for now. But first... He grabs me and turns me around with a single hand. Before I can protest, I feel his lips against mine. Though it takes some precision aiming considering how big he is. Outside of combat, I don't think I mind the sheer size of him one bit. Or the size of his tongue, for that matter. More than a little woozy by the time he pulls back. One for the road. I lean in again. Can we make that too? Reckon we got time for another round? I'll make time. Attaboy. I watch him get dressed. I shower with him, but our shower's barely big enough for me as is. I don't think he'd be able to handle Ahab. I don't think any apartment in the city can handle him. Kinda makes me wonder just how big the furniture and doors at his place must be. The thought of a car wash-sized bathtub amuses me. Well, I estimate this be it, Spotty. He regrettably zips up his pants. Next time we meet out there, we shall be enemies once more. At least I know your soft spots now. And I yours. He gives my chest a poke that could easily bowl me over if he even applied the tiniest bit more force. I intend to give you no quarter all the same. Not even after last night, huh? After last night, ye should be aware I ain't the type to just lie back and take it, laddie. Suits me. Just try to stay out of trouble until then, okay? Keep the thievery to a minimum if you can. If ye can promise you'll go after Kamo, it be a done deal. He leans down to give me one more peck on the lips before he turns around and walks out of my bedroom. Be seeing ya, me hearty. I hear the front door close a moment later. Can I come in, dude? Yeah. Max has seen me in my undies more times than I can count. Not too big a deal when there's not a big naked whale in my room. Whoa, this place is a mess. What did you guys do? Just played some games. The AAA kind or the XXX kind? That's none of your... I'm surprised you got anything done with all the earthquakes last night. I don't remember any earthquakes. Really, dude? The whole building was shaking. And I kept hearing this awful screaming. Really harsh my vibe, know what I mean? And it lasted for most of the night. I'm sure no one got hurt. I hope so, dude. Anyway. He wiggles a pair of tickets in my face. What are these for? There's this big fashion thing tonight. Everyone's going. And your mom isn't? Nah, she's shooting this perfume ad. I thought she was shooting an ad yesterday. That one was for skinny jeans. Those are back in fashion? When you're a butterfly, every pair of jeans is skinny jeans. Keep up. You want these? I'd love to go, but I kind of have this work thing today. And I promised I'd be at the Hound for the anniversary. No big deal, dog dude. I'll see how much they sell for online. Can probably make some bank. Thanks, all the same. I'll be ready in a few. Gotta freshen up, put on some clothes. Alright. By the way, the guy who just left, I swear I saw him on the news somewhere. Really now? Funny that. Anyway, yeah, see you in a bit. I shut the door and collapse face first into the bed once more. The last day or so is still a blur to me, but after all is said and done, I think it could have gone a lot worse. Never thought it'd end with me sleeping with a wanted criminal, but hey. At least I learned a thing or two about our new target from Ahab. I'm sure Milo and Raoul can use that somehow. I close my eyes and sigh into my pillow. Before my bed lowers underneath me. Is it collapsing? Was Ahab that heavy? I rubbed the sleep out of my eyes. No, it's definitely not collapsing. It's freaking sinking into the floor. I hold onto my sheets for dear life, but my bed turns until it's almost vertical, and both me and the sheets fall down onto another angled surface. Another one of those slides? Why in my bedroom? It only takes a moment of hurtling down at top speed before I meet my old friend, the man in the computer room. Oof! And my pelvis already wasn't doing so good after last night. Can you please start warning me before you do that? My phone thuds on the mat next to me. At least I don't have to go pick that up anymore. Rule and Milo, for once, are silent. Rule's got his hand clasped over his mouth. Milo's just standing there, though I can hear his beak grinding from all the way over here. What's wrong? Rule tugs at his collar. His face is about as red as his tie. Well... Ahem. I look down. Oh, right. I grab my sheets and pull them over me, avoiding any potentially sticky places Ahab left. It's your fault. I wasn't expecting my bed to turn into a theme park ride. You were late. We were wondering where you were. Clearly not getting ready for work. You are lucky this is not 9-to-5 job. For your information, I was investigating the gown all night. I see. Must have been a difficult task to perform in undergarments. Would investigate their fancy shower and change of clothes. That would be appreciated, yeah. I feel much better after finally getting a chance to freshen up and brush my teeth. So this is what rich people body wash smells like. Gotta say, I'm a fan. I'll just bike over from now on if you don't mind. Apologies, Spot, but time is of the essence. We must crack case after all. Any new discoveries? I was up all night looking into security footage, but I couldn't find the little devil anywhere. It's as though he went off the grid the moment he left the bar after the fight. I checked business card for fingerprints and looked into target and government records, but it proved unsuccessful. Did you manage to discover anything with your, what did you call it? Personal investigation? Just a little bit. I don't know if it'll help. Don't ask where I got the information from. Don't ask where I got the information from. Where did you get information from? I might be able to get away with white lies when it comes to most of my friends, but this bird can smell bullshit from a mile away. His scrutinizing glare offers no escape. Remember when Rule said he wished he could ask Ahab some questions? Milo's eyes narrow, so hard one could almost mistake them for being closed entirely. Well, while I was undercover, back when this all started, he gave me his phone number. You didn't? Yeah, I called it and told him to meet me. I know what happened. Fuck. You do? Yes. You are not being entirely forthcoming with truth, Duskhound. I'm not? You seem tired. You have developed a strange way of walking. I knew it. You forcefully interrogated Ahab alone and forced him to tell you Kamo's whereabouts. What were your methods? I will have you know, torture is illegal in Batavia. I did make him scream pretty loud, but I don't know if that counts. Out with it. What did you learn? Well, the long and short of it is that he specializes in stealing fashion and materials. Silks, leathers, and the like. The rarer the better. Doesn't always go for stuff based on market value. He was always the one to He was also the one to approach Ahab, not the other way around. How do you know we can trust Saltwater Syndicate leader on this? He seemed pretty pissed at him, to be honest. Kept talking about him breaking some code of honor. Ahab does fancy that code of his. Seeing as this is our only current lead at the moment, I say it at least bears a little investigating, wouldn't you say? That is true. It could help determine next course of action. I had a similar idea, so I texted Lou. I should hope you've learned lesson about involving civilians by now, Duskhound. Listen, they already know who we are at this point, and to be honest, if anyone knows what this guy's next target could be, or hell, what even happened to the gown, it's them. It's our best option. We were gonna talk to them anyway. My phone buzzes. Oh, perfect timing. Rule and Milos shoot me a simultaneous look of expectation. Lou says they've managed to dig up some dirt. So now's as good a time as any to head over to the Han. We can talk about our findings there. The Han? The place I told you about last night, before I left. It's a bar. More than a bar, really. It's a second home. They actually have a big event going on today. They've been open for 25 years. Oh. He fidgets. Something wrong? No, I mean... Do you wish to stay at base, Master Brevar? Well, I do need to swing by the flower shop for later. But I suppose I could go, if it's for the good of the mission. Oh, right. Technically, Raoul Brevar has never been seen in public. Guess there might be some secret identity shenanigans going on. You can tell me what's wrong. I won't judge. I just don't deal well with crowds, is all. It's something I've had since I was little. It's all a bit overwhelming for me. Is that why you stay out of the public eye? It certainly plays a part. I like creating, inventing, building a bright future for the citizens of Shippersburg. I'm not one for meetings and long discussions about nothing in particular with lots of different folks. So I leave it to the spokespeople. I handle a considerable amount of Master Brevar's corporate communications. Is there anything this bird can't do? You know, back when I worked for the company, some people thought you didn't exist at all. That's how I prefer things in a way. What about the Dawnhound? You seem to deal just fine with crowds when we're working. Dawnhound's different. He's smart, strong, outgoing, brave. When I put on the mask, that's how I feel too. I think I felt something similar when I first saw myself in costume yesterday. And when we thought we got the dress back from Ahab and his goons. That was a hell of a rush. You helped give me a bit of courage, that's for sure. I'd be happy to return the favor. I extend a hand to my boss. I don't know, Spot. Come on, it's for the good of the mission. Besides, you did promise Lou you'd bring them up to speed on my situation. This is true, and I do not break promises. Well, we must. The Han is bustling with activity by the time we roll up. I guess Lou must have helped Willem get some buzz on social media. I haven't met most of the folks here. Most of these folks before I can read. And then again, most of the regulars aren't used to showing up this early. Rule slows down as he takes in his surroundings. He's sweating bullets, and it isn't even that hot. This is a mighty big crowd. I hope it does not put too much strain on you, Master Bravar. Oh, no, Milo, it's fine. He doesn't look fine. Are you sure you're okay? Rule nods, avoiding eye contact. Just out of my element. I don't leave the house without my costume all that often. He looks at the ground. Hey, it's alright. These are all good people. I have to say, I did not expect a bar like this to be your favorite place. You mean you didn't expect me to be gay? Alex, we have lived long lives so far. We have traveled world. Who we love is no concern to us. Only fighting ability and mind. Thanks. That's actually kind of sweet. I only meant I expect you to be homebody. You being gay was quite obvious. Add gaydar to Milo's long list of talents. Do you often visit? You could say that. Almost every week since college. Or, well, my shoddy attempt at college. You're gonna love the drinks here. Just gotta find Willem. The rooster's easy to find, with the fancy dress and the huge fake lashes he's wearing. I guess that corset ended up fitting after all. He notices me and heads in my direction. I can hear his stiletto heels even above the din of the crowd and the generic gay house music. Well, if it ain't Al, awful nice to see your face round these parts. Ain't you just the sweetest little apple in the apple pie? He pinches my cheeks. You're walking mighty funny, love. Is something the matter? I'm not. He clicks his tongue. Couldn't have anything to do with the big boy you brought over last night for drinks last night. I whisper. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm expecting him to press further, as he usually does, but he's already moved on to Raul and Milo. Raul is twiddling his thumbs while Milo's as stone-faced as ever. You brought company. Some strapping boys, too. These are my friends, Milo and Raymond. My name's It is good to make your acquaintance. Guys, this is Willem. He owns... I do beg your pardon, good sir. The name's Mother Hen, owner of this little watering hole. Proud of Shippersburg, I always say. Sorry, Mother Hen. Gotta say, he's nailing this accent. Those acting classes for seniors he took a couple years back must be paying off. Don't worry, Al. You can call me Charlene. He giggles behind a big fan I didn't even know he had. Have you seen Lou anywhere? Sure have. They came in a little while ago. Ain't been waiting long. He points to the bar. Lou's sitting in the corner away from the main crowd. A holographic screen in front of them shows a bunch of kittens who all pretty much look identical to them, babbling away. Guess they're with their other partner for the weekend. Or parent. Thanks. How's the party coming along? Oh, swell. Just swell. Ain't had this many customers since we had that Summer of Sin leather party last year. Oh boy, do I remember that one. That's where I met Lars. Ah, Lars. I'll never forget those 6 beefy arms. Why, I have trouble keeping up just by myself. Speaking of, you boys want anything to drink? He looks at Raul and Milo. Seeing as you first-timers, drinks are on the house. First-timers? Just mean I haven't seen y'all in here before. And I do like taking care of my guests, good sir. Oh, well, thank you. Raul's gaze flicks between the drinks menu and the bar in general, as if he's not really sure where to look or what to focus on. I don't blame him. Some of the patrons are dressed rather flamboyantly, to put it mildly. Milo, on the other hand, is taking the Han like a fish to water. He shoots Willem, or Charlene, the smile of someone who's been in this kind of place before. Just what has this guy been hiding? I thank you for your generosity, madam. I will have fruity drink with little pink umbrella. It must be pink. I will accept no substitutes. A mighty fine choice. How about a kinky red raccoon? Willem winks at Milo. The crow doesn't skip a beat and simply crosses his legs. That is perfect. Brings back memories from old days. Old days? Perula's next. What about you, sir? I can remember the cocktails. I can recommend the cocktails. Of course he remembers the cocktails. A fine drink for a fine man. A cocktail sounds great. I'll have... what are your options? Willem points to a blackboard with the cocktail names on it. I brace myself as I watch Rahul read the names, mumbling under his breath, eyes getting wider every second. Screaming, orgasm, sex on the beach. What's a cum shot? No one answers. Do you have soda? I'll have a soda. A soda and a kinky red raccoon. I'll hop right to it, chickadee. He winks at Rule, who smiles back, making himself a little smaller. This is definitely not the Dawn Hound I know. You sure about this? I will be once I have a place to sit down for a bit. Sorry, just a little. He trails off. Overstimulated? Yes. Hey, don't sweat it. If you want to take a breather outside for a bit, I'd be happy to come along. Rule finally settles and I see Milo smiling. Okay, I'd like that. Now let's find you that place to sit down. I gesture for them to follow me as I take a seat next to Lou. Oh hey, look guys, it's Uncle Alex. Uncle Alex is here. The kittens on the screen scream in unison. At least I still have fans out there. Hey guys, what's the haps with the snaps? Uncle Alex, no one says that anymore. Yeah, Uncle Alex, no one. Sorry guys, Uncle Alex is a little behind the times. I guess I'm not that cool after all. I still say it. But you're old. Wow, low blow. I gently tap Lou on the shoulder and point to Rule and Milo. They nod. Alright, fellas. Purpur has to leave for a little while, okay? You all be good now. Why did I start doing a weird accent? Whatever. Aww. Bye, Purpur. Bye, Uncle Alex. Bye. The kittens wave at me before Lou ends the call. They're growing really fast. Like weeds. I reckon they'll be taller than I am by the time they hit puberty. Can't imagine 7 kids all entering puberty at the same time. That's what you get with litters. I've known Lou since we were teenagers. I don't think the world is ready for 7 copies of them at that age. Anyway, hi. A long time no see. Nice to see you too, Mr. Milo, Mr. Dawnhound. Rule perks up as soon as he hears his codename. Enough to look Lou in the eye, at least. Good to see you as well. My apologies for the trouble at the gallery yesterday. It must have given you quite the fright. Hey, I wasn't the one getting hurled through the air. I'm fine. Speaking of, can you finally tell me what's been going on with Alex? Milo, I think it's best if you explain. Milo gives the bar a quick look around, no doubt making sure no one else is within earshot. He pushes his glasses up and turns back to us. It is long story, but short version is Duskhound. Alex works for us. He looks at Rule. More precisely, for Hound. The Rottweiler seems to come alive a bit, his focus shifting to our group as opposed to looking for the nearest window to make his escape from. Our mission is to keep city of Shippersburg safe. Safe from criminals too difficult for police to deal with. Criminals that require a different approach to take down. Lou raises a non-existent eyebrow. You mean less legal ones? There are times when one must circumvent law to do what is right. And wear spandex, apparently. It's not spandex. All of us look in Rule's direction. It's the loudest he's been since we walked in here. The scoundrels threatening our fair city need to know that their heroes will not stand idly by while they engage in their villainy. He balls up a fist, pumping it in the air like an old theater actor. That there are people who will fight for justice when the police can't, or won't. The look on Lou's face tells me they're not entirely convinced. You mean you want criminals to know they'll have to deal with, They lean on their hand. The Hound? Precisely so. We're still working on the branding. And how is it that Alex, of all people, got roped into this? I've known him for forever, and he hardly seems like hero material. Hey. Milo seems to take pleasure in Lou's remark, judging by his smirk. Mr. DeRoy is rookie, yes, but he is not without certain qualities. He looks good in rubber? It's not rubber either. Alex demonstrated his cunning and tenacity in a most dire situation. His tail starts wagging, almost swatting a smaller mouse walking past his bar stool in the face. He confronted an armed criminal to protect an innocent bystander without hesitation, and saved her life in the process. I wouldn't say entirely without hesitation, but I'll take the compliment. He may be inexperienced, but he has what it takes to be a hero. That I promise. I don't know if he's speaking the truth or if it's sunk cost fallacy talking at this point. Lou ponders his statement for a moment, punctuating their thoughts by slurping their tea loudly. Are we talking about the same Alex? The one who broke down crying on a roller coaster for 5-year-olds because, and I quote, the drop was too steep? It was steep. It was a meter tall. I swear it was taller. But I suppose you did save Mrs. De Bruyn's bacon that night. And you're absolutely sure you like this career switch? I know it's kind of out there, Lou, but it feels right. They sigh. All right, I'll buy it for now, at a discount, but I'll buy it. But do you really think the scum of the earth is gonna quiver in fear seeing you dressed up in... They look in Rule's direction. Highly advanced materials. Can't tell you the details, I'm afraid. Industry secret and all. Right. I'm not going to pretend like I get it completely, but if you're sure this is the right job for you, then who am I to judge? Besides, you seem to be in good hands. Lou glances at Milo. Claws? Paws? Hands is good. Just making sure. I will keep Hound and Duskhound safe. I mean, if something happens to Rule, we'd both be out of a job. Make no mistake, all of Shippersburg, the populace and criminals alike, will know our names. Oh ho ho. Lou rubs their paws together, not entirely unlike a cartoon villain concocting a dastardly scheme. You want to get the word out there, you've got to work on your media presence. You need people to see you. What are you getting at? They crack their knuckles, audible even over the loudness of the crowd and the generic gay house music that is still playing. Time to put my bachelor's in marketing to work. Since when do you have a bachelor's in marketing? Had it for a couple of years now. I've been working on it during my off time at the reception desk. Just don't tell Brevard I said that. My eyes are drawn to rules in spite of my best efforts, but he doesn't seem to take umbrage. You need a person who knows what's going on in Shippersburg. Now I can help. That would be... He taps at his chin. Very helpful, actually. Do you guys have a name yet? A name? Who's the comic geek here? Hero teams have names, right? What's yours? Dawn Hound and Duskhound? Too plain. The Dawn Squad? Not punchy enough. Crew for crushing of criminals. What is this, a metal band? Let's forget names for a sec. Did you get my text last night? You mean the drunk selfie you sent me at 12? I did? You looked very flattering. The one before that, then. That one took me 10 minutes to decipher. Something about wanting inflammation at Camo's whereabouts. That's not what I meant. I know. I figured it probably had something to do with the gown after you mentioned you couldn't get it back. So I messaged Fenna and asked her about it. You got Fenna's phone number? Luke clicks their tongue and finger guns at me. I've still got game. Anyway, Camo. Fenna looked into it, but the trail went cold on her end. The name didn't show up in any database, and the temp agency website went offline after the robbery. Camo's pseudonym, most likely. Yeah, I was curious too, so I read up on him while I waited for you guys to show up. So did we. But we were unable to make any headway. Well, you've got a super sleuth on the case now. They pull up their screen again. I couldn't find much when I looked up the name alone. I had similar issue. But when I added some keywords based on the stuff Alex texted me, I found some old blog posts. Very old blog posts. Most of them didn't have that many views. The algorithm definitely didn't favor this guy. Anything we can use? It was mostly pictures of things he'd made. A lot of very expensive materials on display. Materials you don't just buy at your local fabric store. And just a ton of complaining about how underappreciated he felt. That wasn't the only thing, though. You guys remember when the Shippersburg Museum had the crown jewels on display last year? The ones that got stolen, right? It was all over the news. Every guard got knocked out cold. What's more, no one showed up in the security footage. The Saltwater Syndicate took the blame for it at the time based on circumstantial evidence. Some members got arrested, but the jewels were never recovered. So imagine my surprise when I saw this on Camo's blog. They turn the screen towards us. It shows a mannequin wearing a strangely chunky necklace with a distinctive gem as the centerpiece. That is quite... well, I wouldn't say pretty. That gem's from one of the royal scepters. I'm sure of it. If he did that to a timeless piece of jewelry, I'd shudder to think what he's planning for the Money Talks gown. Then our course of action is clear. I agree. It is? First, we have to take stock of all the outfits Camo has made. Affirmative. Then we analyze materials used in outfits. And cross-reference them with all the reported thefts of rare fabrics, garments, and jewelry in the past few years. Afterward, we look into commonalities and deviations of thefts. By doing so, we can deduce which which crimes have been committed by perpetrator. We follow that up with thorough investigation of how fashion trends have evolved over time. Finally, we use process of elimination to determine most likely target for next heist. Before you go and do all that, mind showing me the card you guys found? Fenna mentioned it. I have it with me. I doubt it'll be much use. Milo looked into it and there was nothing we could find. Milo produces it from his breast pocket. As he hands it over to Lou, I catch a scent on it. Because of all the smoke from the castle, I hadn't noticed it before. It's a flower, hibiscus, and lemon? Hold on. I snatch it out of Milo's hand before Lou can grab it. Hey, what's the big idea? Sorry, I bring it up to my nose. Did one of you spray perfume on this? I don't smell anything. Neither do I. It's faint, but I'm catching a whiff of something. Flowers and lemon. Lemon, you say? He leans over and takes one of the candles sitting on the bar. Don't go burning the place down. I do not intend to. Hold guard over flame. Of course, invisible ink. I do as I'm instructed, and as the card heats up, an image is slowly seared into it. Below it is a text that says, "Come find me." That's a logo of some kind? Lou, do you know? I think I've seen that one somewhere before. Might have something to do with the new convention center? Their face goes blank. Of course! Bonds through bondage. What? There's a big fashion show being held at the new convention center tonight. That's where he's gonna be. How can you be so certain? I have to agree. It is easy to jump to conclusions, but to dive into the heart of a criminal mind isn't easy. He's a self-proclaimed fashion king who wants to build a name for himself. Then the world's most famous fashion designers will be showing off their creations made with rare and expensive materials. So it's a once-in-a-decade event, highly exclusive. We might have trouble getting in then. Getting in may be the least of our worries. I can only assume this card was a direct challenge to whoever discovered it. That might mean trouble. How so? Think about it. We recovered the capsule from the Syndicate, but Kamo had no way of knowing we were the ones who take it. Meaning he was confident enough that he dared to challenge Ahab and his crew directly. He must be a dangerous adversary. It is possible he is not operating alone. It's a risk we need to take. I agree. We made a promise. I refuse to let this wretched chameleon give us a slip. I'd be letting a lot of people down if I backed out now. Our attention shifts as we notice Willem heading our way. Alright, sorry it took so long, but I got y'all your drinks. A fruity drink for the handsome birdie. I am grateful. And a soda for the big boy. Big boy? Thank you kindly. I watch Smilo twirls the little drink umbrella around between his index finger and thumb, smiling to himself. He takes a sip and closes his eyes, smacking lips as he does not possess. This is exquisite. Why, thank you, sir. Don't you want to take a break? Charlene? Bloody hell, I do. This corset's squeezing my organs like a lemon. Do you require assistance? I am a mixologist myself. Willem collects himself, and his voice immediately goes back up several octaves. Pretend my voice is higher, because I can't do that. Oh no, sugar, that won't be necessary. Got an extra helper today, thank the Lord up above. He should be here any minute now. Oh, Oh? I need somewhere to stop, so I think this is gonna be the place to stop for now. So see you next time when the mysterious helper appears. Bye.